Hello and welcome to the SCORM demo with LifterLMS and WordPress. I'm Chris Badgett, and this is Kurt Von Annen from LifterLMS. Kurt is our SCORM WordPress LMS expert. Today in this presentation, we're going to show a demo of what it's like to work with SCORM content in your WordPress LMS powered by LifterLMS. As we get into it, once you are ready to move forward, head on over to lifterlms.com/pricing and choose your plan. You can get started right away. And by the way, we have a free training course for your implementation, your tech team, that can walk them step by step on exactly how to implement what we're showing you today in this LifterLMS SCORM demo. That's over at academy.lifterlms.com. Just look for the free SCORM course. When you're ready to pass that over to your tech team, they'll be ready to get started. We're going to jump right into the video demo. Thank you, Kurt, for putting this together. And let's show the magic of using SCORM with a WordPress learning management system powered by LifterLMS.
Perfect. Thanks, Chris. I think it's important before we really get into the screen share, though, Chris, is just to acknowledge a lot of the folks that come to us with SCORM related questions. They almost feel like they're stuck in that walled garden where they're in some custom learning management system that was built 12, 15, 18 years ago to run this SCORM content that might be made through, Articulate, Captivate, Rise, some of these different programs. And while some people think that SCORM is, top notch, top tier, a lot of people don't recognize how old that software or how old that technology is and how some of those websites work. And so I think it's really important that as we go into our screen share today, we acknowledge you don't have to throw away your legacy content. You don't have to start over. You can embed SCORM content into WordPress and you can have it work in a LifterLMS powered website flawlessly. And we've got this demo site right here. This one's kind of based on the medical industry. So we set up a few courses just to kind of demonstrate the different ways that SCORM can embed into your website. And something that I think is interesting, Chris, I don't know if you'll think this is interesting or not, but like my favorite way to put SCORM into a LifterLMS powered website is actually to get away from the light box. If folks aren't familiar with this, typical SCORM training websites have what's called a light box. So the web page pops up, you say launch the course, and this little box pops up with the content in it. And that's how a lot of folks recognize SCORM material. But you can actually have your SCORM material come up in a whole tab, like a whole fully immersive, student geared type presentation. So without any further ado, let's jump into let's take a look at that one. SCORM course for a new window. So if we open up this course, we're going to see that we've got two different ways to launch this. And I wanted to show that you could do it with the standard, the text link that's really common in a SCORM powered website, or you could do it through a button if you wanted to, one of these dynamic buttons in WordPress. You can just program that link in. And if I click that, we're going to see that that's going to open up in a full page presentation, not a small light box. So this gives your instructional designers making new content the ability to build content that'll fill a whole screen instead of just a small box. And then everything in this course works exactly the way you would expect it to work. So it's going to have the transitions, the menus on screen. You're able to do multiple lessons within one screen presentation. All the benefits that you see in SCORM kind of come through this way without the expense of having a custom built website that runs SCORM. We'll move on forward. I got to get back out of here. There we are. And I'll just go back to our home page, go back to courses, and we'll take a look at SCORM in the light box. So SCORM in the light box is exactly what people are used to with SCORM. They click on the text link and up comes our small light box. And then here's that same course presented in the light box presentation. And then again, I just wanted to show folks that we can kind of change that presentation up a little bit. If I go back to our course listings, we'll see that we can do SCORM course embeds, and we can put that directly into the page. And so You have the lightbox, you have embedded into the same page, and then you have, embedded into a completely new tab for your students to be able to see everything in a full page. The next question that some people would give us with SCORM is the idea, I'll go back to courses this way, is the idea of SCORM is usually one presentation on one page with multiple lessons embedded in one SCORM package. But what if you wanted to kind of embrace that modern learning with micro learning and break your sections up into separate lessons? You can absolutely do that with SCORM as well, using the standard lesson and course layouts or the hierarchy in LifterLMS. So in this one, we've broken out a lightbox lesson. And again, this shows the same example. So we've got a lightbox. We decided to show you that you could open your lightboxes with a button. So you can customize whatever button you want to run in your site. And of course, that opens up the lightbox the same way. And then we have the embedded lesson. And then finally, we can put multiple SCORM instances in one single page. So as I scroll down through here, you're going to see here's one SCORM package. Then I say another section of lessons. Here's another SCORM package. And here's a third session of SCORM inside the same tab. Some people's use cases, that could be really, really handy because you're going to have people stair step from one part of the course to another without having to leave the page. And then, of course, with LifterLMS, we track your progress by marking anything complete that you finish. And then just as a completion here, we have it as a new window lesson. And then this opens up the new tab with the full experience again, directly from the lesson menu and not having to be a separate course. Chris, what do you think so far?
That's perfect. That's perfect. It's amazing to see the two worlds come together of instructional design way of thinking with SCORM and the WordPress way of thinking with content management system with LifterLMS, adding that learning management system layer. So you can really leverage the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Now I've got a way that I kind of make recommendations to my clients, and that is if you're using SCORM, sometimes it's best to not put the knowledge checks and stuff in the SCORM package. What I like to do is put the learning material in the SCORM package and then use those, they call them interactive student experiences and things like that, or student pathways. You'll hear different instructional designers call it something different, but the way they build the SCORM package for the learning content, put everything in SCORM. That's great. But for the knowledge checks and the quizzes, I actually encourage people to use the standard LifterLMS advanced quizzes add-on. And then that way, anything that's done as a knowledge check or a progress meter or grading inside the site automatically goes to LifterLMS reporting. However, if you've got legacy material and you don't want to delete that, right? So if you've got legacy material, you want to use it, and you have quizzes and tests as part of those SCORM packages, there are tools where we can absolutely sync those test results to the LifterLMS reporting, and everything works just the way you would expect it to.
That's perfect. So go to the LifterLMS pricing page. That's lifterlms.com/pricing and choose a plan. And just get started. And like I said, with your technology implementation team, we have a free training to show you how to do exactly what Kurt was showing you in terms of setting up that site, getting SCORM into WordPress and all of that. So go to academy.lifterlms.com. And I just want to address, before we sign off here, a couple things that might be on your mind. Like, does this sound too good to be true? Oh, can a WordPress LMS really be this affordable? I'm used to paying, $50,000, $100,000 for these learning management systems. But technology has evolved and things have gotten a lot cheaper. And this isn't that complicated. And even if you have a huge back catalog of legacy content, you can still leverage that. And WordPress and Lifter gives you the ability to, create content in WordPress as well. So it's not like you have to flip a switch and go all in on the WordPress LifterLMS way. You can do it the old way. You can do it the new way, what WordPress provides with LifterLMS for content. But it's not, this whole process can be a transition period. and it doesn't have to be scary. But I wanted to hand it back over to you, Kurt. Any other like common questions or concerns that people have as they're evaluating WordPress for their learning management system with this SCORM back catalog of content?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when we're talking to people about SCORM is recognizing the use case, or kind of like that client case. So folks that come to us typically have corporate training backgrounds. They're used to the idea of like their marketing site being one site, their sales site being another site, their CRM or customer maintenance site being some other kind of tool through AS400 or something like that. And then their e-learning site is some other subdomain or some other site far away. And what Chris was talking about with transitions earlier is like, hey, if you want to start out on a subdomain and build this thing as a proof of concept, experiment with it before you kind of abandon your old system, you can totally do that safely. But the thing to remember is that WordPress is a content management system. So it's more than just a learning management system. It's also a content management system. So over time, for your company, you could save a tremendous amount of budget, because you would be able to put in, marketing and CRM tools and scheduling tools and learning tools all in one property. And when I have those conversations with corporate clients and we look at their overall budgets and then figure out what it's really going to cost to really do this and do this well, it's amazing how much money we can save people.
Awesome. And when you invest in LifterLMS, that comes with support. So if your tech team has questions, we have the free training, but we're also known for our high quality support. We also have a vetted list of LifterLMS experts. Some of those have, SCORM proficiency. So if you're kind of on the fence of like, can I do this in-house? Can my team do this? Yes, they can. They need to learn WordPress and LifterLMS, but there's also experts like Kurt out there in the world that can do the implementation or coach help the team get on board and figure all this out. So we're here to support you and help you with your SCORM implementation in LifterLMS. Any final words before we go on this video demo today, Will or Kurt? Sorry.
The best thing is just get started. You can think about it forever, but the more you think about it, the longer it takes to get going. Just get started, play with it, figure it out. We have the training course. We have these demos. And if you need to hire an expert, you can hire an expert. So whether you're doing it yourself or you're delegating it to someone else, get it done, save yourself some money, and modernize, kind of bring that student presentation up a level from your outdated custom website.
Awesome. So with that, I encourage you to go ahead and get started. Sign up for your LifterLMS plan today. That's at lifterlms.com/pricing, and head on over or send your tech team over to the free course on the LifterLMS Academy that shows you exactly how to implement this. That's at academy.lifterlms.com. Kurt, thank you for the great video demo. Really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you in the LifterLMS community.